Greetings to the tribes, indigenous people everywhere. I want to speak with the tribe today about the commandment honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the earth's land in which the Lord thy God has given thee. Now, your ancestors, not just your mother and father, they're all that went before you in your bloodline. All that went before you are your ancestors. What did it mean honor them? First off, you got to know them. Have you just had a discussion with the people who got gray hair in your family? Those who quite a few years older than you are? Have you talked about their history? How was it like growing up? What did their parents identify as? You need to have these discussions while they're still here. I'm so glad I did, because that's what gave me the knowledge of my tribal heritage. Speaking to my grandparents, even though I was past 30 when that happened. But I understand, people. You're learning yourself. You know, you are so tied up in life and living that you're concerned about yourself. But learning your ancestry, that's part of who you are. That's part of you. You're not separate from them. Now, most of y'all won't realize this until a few years have passed. But I'm telling you, don't let another day pass. Get to know your uh, your elders in your tribe while they're still here. There's nothing but regret if you don't do this. And they pass, and you didn't grab the history that you're supposed to have from them. They're not going to just give it to you. They're not supposed to. You're supposed to ask for it, like they asked for it. See, it was a common thing, most of our history, to pass the knowledge down, because we knew how to ask for it. With integration, which is forced, we didn't ask to be taken out of our communities. We thought we was getting something better, but we got nothing. Because when you lose what's yours, you ain't supposed to have nothing. You give up what's yours, and you think you're gonna get something better. No, that was the Holocaust that the tribes went through in the 50s and 60s. And they hid your heritage from you. They stopped calling you Indian way back in the 1800s. However, calling you black took you away from any knowledge of your ancestry. That was the purpose of it. Take you away from any origin of your land. So I want y'all to have a good morning today. I just wanted to share this with you. Did I say morning? I never use that word. It has too much negative connotations, like mourning. When somebody passed, How can you have a good morning? You only become aware of these languages when you tap into your ancestry. Why the way we greet each other is totally different from the way of the people we're among now. Matter of fact, the less you practice their way of life, the more closer to your divinity you will be. Everything. If they're doing it, you're not supposed to be doing it. Most important thing we've lost with the language, because the language is the culture that identifies who you are. So we gave that up. Man, that's what they say, some things are worse than death. Because when you pass, that's just you. But if your legacy, your identity, and all that go with being a child of the Creator, if that's destroyed, then not only is it affected you, it's affecting all those who come after you if they stay in that squalor place of ignorance. It's a shame, the ignorance that's prevalent now. But you got to want something, my people. You got to want to know who you are. You got to want to serve the Great Spirit. You got to want to be separated from evil. And you just can't say you can't just say that the pale face is evil because you got black face is evil as well. And a lot of times you can't tell the difference. So you have to make that discernment within yourself, who you are, what you're going to be, and what do you want for your family for generations and generations to come. And you get a start on this by talking to your elders. Now, being old don't mean you're wise, but there's something they can share with you that you can use, maybe not everything, because they didn't inquire when they was young, and they may not know. So just have a talk with them. I'm sure that's something you can use. It's like putting a puzzle together. You go to all different sources. The greatest source, the greatest resource is your diligence research. Rightfully dividing the word of truth. Matter of fact, that's a commandment for those of you who call yourself Christians. 2 Timothy 2:15. Study to show yourself approved. Approve of what? Approve of your Creator. You can't know anything if you don't study. And some people just have a gift of wanting to know things. I know I did. I do. Some people just don't. Just don't want to know. If you want to know and you're around people who don't want to know, the best way you can serve your Creator is get away from them. If they would pull you down to their level. If you can't raise somebody to your level, you don't need to be around them. Of course, that's a decision you got to make because you got to live with it. Serve the Creator with honor, with fear. Reject evil from all of their sources. Stand up and be men and women That means knowing who you are. Peace to the tribes. Hiya, hiya.